SK Telecom looking like they're in actually high spirits coming into the match right here.
Yeah, Teddy and Marta there towards the bottom side of the map. Marta versus Deft always needs a mention
now,
in this matchup.
One of the things I'm curious about is the drafts. Because SK Telecom, I feel like they have had consistently poor and questionable drafts very often here in spring 2019.
Yeah, and I feel like they've been rewarded by having better players on their squad in a lot of their victories recently, right? Damwon Gaming were able to topple the Titans, but Gen G weren't able to. You know, there are other teams on this list like KT Rolster that have been looking pretty average recently. Gen G twice beating them back-to-back, first into second round robin. And so with Gen G, KT, Damwon, and then Gen G again being the last 4 matches, it's not exactly a huge test here for SKT. And finally, they'll find someone that will test their ability to draft correctly, because Kingzone have been shown to punish very well if you leave things open for them.
We're going to jump into
between mid and top lane. And they're going to take the LeBlanc as well, so giving away their solo lanes most likely here. Of course, chances of flexibility for the Jace, but that's going to be Faker's LeBlanc into pawn. And I don't want to go back to 2015 MSI, but every time I say the LeBlanc into pawn, I always want to. As imagine if they just pick Morgana as a troll pick here and give it to Tucson.
They should hover it.
Oh, that would be really, really funny.
The hover would be the best thing possible.
Well, KZ's Aatrox has actually been very strong in recent games, so I do not want that to be flexed towards the top lane. I think that they're picking for themselves right now. I really like this. That's a Karma. Our pick here. Now, what is the Kingzone bottom lane going to look like? Oh, okay, Zyra Khan just straight up in there. And as you can see, Kingzone have said, we don't really care about drafting. We're not about that. We're going to pick our champions, and we're going to play the game. So Zyra Khan, the Lovers duo, is going to be picked up. And we've seen this. We've seen Rakan sneak back, and it's 9.5 that he gets all of his buffs. That's when things start to look good, but we'll still have all of those extra Xayah mechanics.
So the thing here is that if Sivir ends up rounding out the draft, there's 2 things going on here. Both of these team compositions want to run heads at one another. It's like 2 gorillas or 2 bulls just...
It is going to pop on over. Wants to find the cube, but doesn't find it. And that's an empowered Q to follow up there from Pawn, but already a lot of control in that mid lane is going to be given up as Kingzone being very aggressive down towards the bottom side. That's an ignite onto Pawn, though. You can't do that again! First blood goes over to Cleared, as now KZ wants to find his way forward. The flash, not going to be enough. Has another knock-up, gets it onto Faker, but no vision means no chance. Teleport back from Pawn. He wants us all to forget what just happened and takes a turret shot for no reason as they dive on forward. That's a great knockup with the Pulverize from Marta, who's trying to take control, but Tucson grabs the second kill of the game on the Rakan with the Ignite. And now Teddy's going to get zoned from all of this experience.
He is getting zoned from all of the XP. This is going to be 2 turret plates going down. You can see Deft and Tushin ever so slightly just moving up because Lee Sin is nowhere near. Teddy has to respect it until the minion wave actually thins enough, but I feel like if Aatrox was still here, this could be another potential dive due to the proximity that Alistar was away from the turret, but nonetheless.
Well, this is exactly what we're expecting.
Man.
Oh, okay. KZ is going to come back over, try and look for something under Pawn. Faker's got a huge minion wave, but he somehow just sneaks in all of these chains. Good knock-up comes down as Faker not going to get pulled back. Doesn't have to invest the distortion either, as the minion wave is going to crash, and now Pawn is going to look for a back timing, itself back into this lane. Not too much of a disaster here as the death timers weren't too bad, but as we see this one again, it's just a bit of a disaster here for Pawn. Unable to break the chains.
Walks right up there, and you can see Clit actually clicked away and then ends up missing the Q, although he would not have wanted to have taken that one anyway. But then he comes right back. He's a glutton for punishment.
Yeah. I don't know. Clit goes down to 100 health, but even after the flash, it's not enough. As SKT fans certainly rejoicing after the first blood goes over their way.
And look at how they end up orchestrating this. You can see KZ comes in here. He has the Aftershock absorbing the turret damage.
Yeah.
And so he's able to tank 2 turret shots for his teammates, and They just
condition. But this is what SKT want to do. They're just picking on Pawn. Underneath the turret is Faker, tanking it up. He's capable of doing so for just enough time and even gets the kill credit.
So this is a battle of bot versus mid lane, as Deft and Tushin are trying their damnedest right now to accelerate this laning phase as fast as possible. And if they can do that, they can get Pawn out of this nightmare situation that he's in right now, as Klid moving down here, trying to maybe provide some pressure relief, just going to end up actually attacking the control ward.
Yeah, going to clear that one out. Zombie ward is going to take its place there as Rascal sidesteps that one, and that's a good news story here for the Vladimir, transfusing himself back some of his health. This is going to get better for the Vlad in this lane, but at the moment it is certainly bad news. As speaking of bad news, here's the replay. And
it's pretty simple kill, actually. Doesn't end up getting the amplified healing onto Klid. He said, I'll tank, Look. Nice. Let's go bottom and push. Yeah, let's push one wave, or, yeah.
I don't know.
Bottom humbum milk, yeah.
All right, Marta's going to Hex Flash towards Tucson. See Rascal in a world of hurt.
And Rascal definitely even messing up some of his CS right there. Khan is just... He's basically like a car that's headed down a one-way street. If you stand in its way...
Yeah. Cuz is here at the right time, but Rascal, does he actually have the health bar? Nope. Can't even Sanguine pull in time. Oh my goodness. We got the gigantic studio apartment here as Tusin's going to make his way in good quickness. He's going to get a lot of connections. Featherstorm very early on, mostly for damage now, but it's Marta that's tanking everything up. Klid wants to find his way forward, does have a Q onto Pawn, but not going to use it, as now Rascal gets his way into the teamfight. Faker into the backline. Rascal's going to burn down, but no! The Battle Dance is going to keep him alive, and now the Lee Sin going to be the first one to fall. Tucson dashing over the wall, and finally it's Khan with no mana. The last Shock Blast evens out the kill trade.
And now they find where Faker is. Rascal managing to live there was really key and crucial.
Faker,
wow.
Those chains.
I think Kingzone won themselves the Infernal, although Khan, he has teleport.
He might be able to make his way back in here. Cuz does have the smite as Faker. So much damage. They do lose the Infernal, but Faker gets so much work done. That's the wrong LeBlanc. They're following it forward as Pawn has a huge shield. Deft flashes. He's playing this fight as well as he can, but look at the health bar advantage. It's just too big for SKT as Rascal doesn't get the transfusion heal, and Khan comes in, like you say, with the teleport and the cleanup.
And this is a massive swing, but right now SK Telecom, they're going to try to stabilize and fix all the lanes, get them pushing into Kingzone. However, the Infernal, that's the scaling that they will need. We take a look at how this all starts. Tushin locks up Mata, not quite the champion that you want to be locking up, as he's very tanky. Khan dishing out massive amounts of damage. Klid right there with the Dragon Kick, and then Faker coming in, trying to get Rascal, who's saved the last second by the Rakan. And then the remainder of this fight is it looks like Kingzone is going to be able to successfully burst down the Infernal, but obviously not without one last parting gift, which was Faker coming in here trying to pop Cuz as fast as he could.
The three-man Mimic Distortion was just disgusting stuff from Faker. And this is the point where everybody else comes back and SKT just clean up. But the Dragon does go over to Kingzone.
Right.
And is that going to be enough to keep them in the game? We'll have position. He wants Phase Rush to get himself moving here as the pull comes in. Klid almost loses his GA. The flash from Rascal, and that's the merry dance from SKT completed by Faker. Like to call that the pirouette at the very end, and they do secure the kill on the Vladimir.
So the thing about killing the Vladimir right here is that it comes at the cost of 2 summoner spells. Now, yes, Rascal had just used his flash as well, but you're not netting yourself an objective over it, because Vlad will be up for the Infernal. He would be up if you would try to go to the Baron because he has teleport. So even though Faker gets the kill, it's basically just a consolation prize that's 300 gold at the expense of both of his summoners. And so that's not something that I think that Kingzone is necessarily angry with. You can see right here, Rascal almost able to bring Lee Sin down. He flashes, but then Faker, not wanting to let him get away, flashes and ignites as well. But if you're Raz,
he's inside the pit, but it's Cuz that grabs it. Cleared down to his GA, and if SKT are able to win this fight, it's game over, but KingZone might have another chance. Yeah, looking to try and stop him. The Jace is going to be able to break the next inhibitor, and now Cuz has to flash to get out of the way. That's the knock-up. They now want to win the fight, but look at this. KingZone are not going back. That's redemption to come forward, but not redemption for the game. Teleport now to come in for the flank for Khan. Faker doing so much in the backline. He might die, but he's done so much. And there it is. Khan just says no to any victory for KingZone in this game.
And this game is so all over the place. Khan went bottom. He got the inhibitor turret and the inhibitor to boot. Faker, that was some smoke and mirrors LeBlanc gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
Able to keep KingZone, trying to keep getting a little bit more. They stopped their Baron enhanced recalls because Khan had already done the damage. He had just missed the chains onto Rascal, preventing that back. Had Faker hit that, maybe we would have seen some Nexus turrets go down. We'll take another quick look at it right here. Klid goes in for the steal a little bit early. He ends up being brought down, loses his Guardian Angel. Rakan goes down on the right-hand side. You can see right here, Faker trying to stop the Vladimir from being able to recall. It's at this point that Vlad already had the base under control, so Pawn and Def, they stopped their recalls. Cuz trying to come in here, they end up picking the kill up onto Mata, and then the exhaust comes out onto Faker, but it wasn't until he already dealt a lot of damage. He gets right back in there onto Def, lives with just a sliver of HP.
And dodges the final Q. That was absolutely stunning. Great that the observers caught the game, and they're just toying with KingZone right now. KingZone just wants one team fight. They just want to be able to team fight that one time. But I have a feeling they're not going to be able to. There is a Vladimir now trying to stop these Nexus turrets from going down. KingZone knew that they were going to have to sacrifice something. And right now, Klid's actually looking for a steal. It's a 50-50. It's taken by Karma of all people, but he had the unsealed spellbook. But look at SKT. They're now in the base, and it's only Rascal that's underneath these turrets trying to take them down.
Mata.
He needs to throw out the Hemo Plague. The flash forward. Teddy is taking so much damage. Teleport comes down, but it's going to get cancelled because the Nexus turret's going to go down. And they just trade an Elder Drake for a Nexus.
That is a trade I can get behind.
Absolutely. I love Elder Drakes.
I do too.
No, just kidding. That was absolutely phenomenal map play from SKT. Demonstrated from go to woe that game, and that was exactly how it felt for KingZone fans. They all ran around the map, and it was SKT understanding exactly what their composition did, what it did well, playing to that win condition to a T. That was glorious League of Legends.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And Deft and Tushen, they were doing fantastic down in bottom.
Into the ground, not even barely a champion, Rakan, and even with his Zyra in the backboard,